Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. I hope you're having a great weekend. It's been a busy week and I can't believe it's Friday already. I can't believe it's spring and it's snowing right now, which is Maine. It's been actually pouring all day, and then I just went upstairs and it's still pouring, but there's these big chunks of white snow amongst the rain. It's surreal, but actually it's not that surreal. It's March in Maine. It is what time? Oh, 3:55 on Friday afternoon. Usually I have Sat Chats filmed by noontime on Friday, but this week I have been squeezing everything I can out of this week. This project right here will be up. If it's not up already, it will be up in the next couple of days in Critique Club. It's a mixed media piece. I was using the Mission Gold Tourmaline two-tone granulated watercolor that viewer Laura sent. And it's a fun paint. I used that for the base, and then I went over it with some, I used all kinds of things. I used the Neo Art 6901 crayons. Those I love those. They're so much fun. I used some watercolor ground to kind of scrape in some snow and get back to some white where I kind of overdid it. I used some gouache. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Colored pencils. It was a lot of fun. Honestly, though, I did this from a photo I took of Sandy Point. The couple weekends ago, my husband and I had gone to Belfast, and I'm like, I just want to see the water, and the city park was. I think I mentioned this last week. Anyway, so we pulled into this beach that I love to go to when the weather's warmer, and it was just so barren and frozen looking, and I just thought it was so pretty, and I'm like, oh, I want to paint that. And I was thinking in granulating watercolor, and I'd had several requests to use the Mission Gold granulating colors, the tourmaline colors, and so I thought that'll be perfect. I also swatched them out while I was at it and compared them to some other paints. That's going to be in an upcoming review video, or swatch video, not really so much a review, but definitely a swatch and compare video. So that's coming up. I know some people have been waiting for that, and I apologize it's taken me so long. But anyways, that will be up in Critique Club. I also want to let you know that Critique Club is going up in price on April 1st. So anybody that's joined now, you can join before the 1st and lock in the $5 a month price. Nobody that's a current member will have their price raised. When you sign up for a plan on my school, your price will never get raised. You sign up for a membership. You know, if you signed up when it was a sale back in like 2019, you got it for less than $5. You're still getting you're still getting that price now. So if you want to lock in the $5 rate, just sign up before April 1st. Nobody's prices will be raised. It's a current member, but if you sign up after April 1st, it'll be $7.50 a month. And I just want to make sure everybody knows that. So if you've been thinking about it and you want to grab it before the price goes up, you can. I've been working on the oil painting class. Oil pastel class. Oh, I've been talking all week on film, and do you ever feel like you do something a lot and then you get worse at it? I'm kind of feeling like that this Friday afternoon. That feels like it should be 7, but it's only not even 4. I love how this one came out. This is my favorite one from the class so far, and I thought it was going to be done. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. But then I was thinking, and I think when I give myself longer to create a class, or I finish a class early, I've got everything edited for it already. When I finish a class early, I often will think, what if I add this, this, and this? Or I'll doubt myself. And I'm like, oh, I really should have more of this. Or maybe I should have some of these. And so I think I'm going to add a whole other module that's going to be like smaller paintings. So you have something to kind of ease yourself into from going from the basics lessons before you go to the long painting tutorials. I thought having something kind of in between would be nice, you know, for when you don't have a long time, or you don't want to like use a whole sheet of paper, or you're feeling a little overwhelmed and you just want something faster and smaller. So I think I'm going to add a module of smaller paintings to it. So that's what I've been working on. I've been working on editing. Actually, I'm all caught up except for now that I'm thinking I need to add a new module. The class would be done according to my original plan, but yeah, I think I want to add something extra to it. So that's what I've been working on this week. Oh my word, I have a squirrel. You may even hear it during this video. For like the last couple of weeks when I've been down here filming, because like if I'm not narrating live onto, like if I'm doing, anytime I do real-time instruction, I narrate it live. But sometimes I just want to do time lapse, or I'm just kind of researching, getting stuff ready for a review, or not filming, and then I'll have a podcast playing or an audiobook on, something like that, or music on, and so I don't necessarily hear the little noises. and I was recording, and I was hearing this like scrambling above my ceiling. And so the ceiling in this room is tongue and groove. This room has been built into the basement, so it's kind of like a finished room in the basement. And I was hearing something, and I thought, oh my word, do we have mice? I'm like, it sounds big though. It doesn't sound like a mouse. It sounds like a raccoon or a squirrel or something. It doesn't sound little. And the other day, I walked into the room of hoard. I had my arms full of stuff. And when I walk into that room, I'm walking in blind. It's completely black. That's why I keep it really tidy in there, because I don't want to trip over something and break my neck. I kind of fish around for the string that is turns on the little naked, kill basement naked light bulb in there, and then I can turn on my regular lights after I've got that first one on. So I walk in there, and I hear about 6 inches from my face. It was so like right about where the stamp shelves are and stuff. And so I'm like, I quickly turn on the light, and I'm looking, and I'm hearing just like scrambling. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, is that like what? Exactly. I didn't think it could really be a squirrel. I thought, oh my gosh, what is down here? And then the squirrel pops back out, like, because in the room of hoard, you can see the top of the ceiling, you see the insulation, you can see where the top of the ceiling is, and the squirrel pops in from like the corner of the room, which would be right next to like the basement sill, and it's going like chattering, barking at me, like all annoyed. It's like it's annoyed at me, and it's here in my basement, and it's like chattering at me and barking at me and like, how dare you, you've got some nerve, lady, being in my domain. And so I was shocked, and I thought, oh, that's so cute. And I didn't have my phone with me, so I couldn't take a picture, because oh my gosh, how cute would that be? Because I was feeling like Bob, Bob Ross always had like the squirrels and stuff like that. So anyways, the squirrel like took off over the ceiling somewhere, and so it was a fairly mild day, so I opened up the bulkhead. We've had a window open because of the flood that we had in the basement. We have a hose going out the basement, one of those little tiny casement windows. We have a hose going out hooked to a secondary sump pump that I had to run last week when the rain was just pouring in. Jason came home early from work, hooked it up on the flood day, and then so it was all set up so when the water was rising the next day, I could see before it actually flooded, when the pit was just filling up, I could pop that in there, and it could help out the primary sump pump every couple hours or so as needed. It hasn't needed it today, luckily, so even though it's raining a lot, I guess things have like equalized. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm like, well, maybe it came in during that window open, but also when snow comes off the roof, a lot of times it will like pop the windows open in like Jason's area. So I'm always going over and shutting the window. So now I'm like wondering, are the squirrels coming in, like pushing the window open and coming in, and then I go shut it and they're stuck in here because they can't pull it open? I don't know. So the windows are all open. So I'm just hoping the squirrel goes outside and finds a new place to live, because and it seems to be rainy days. I think the day that I spotted it down here, it was a rainy day. So it's probably just trying to stay dry. But it's got the woodshed. It's got the woodshed with a bird feeder hanging from it. There's always like 4 squirrels eating from that bird feeder in the woodshed. It's an open woodshed, so I mean they're perfectly dry. I can't blame them. I'd want to be warm too, and it's warm in here because I heat this room, so it's probably warm above the room. And it's warm from the house upstairs, so I don't know, but that was a shock. That was such a shock. I wish I had my camera, because it was so cute. It was a gray squirrel, thank goodness, not a red squirrel. Red squirrels can kind of be destructive, so I'm just like hoping it doesn't chew any wires or any like any of the plastic. Actually, I don't know if we have any plastic piping up there. It's probably copper. It's probably copper up there because this house is old enough. But I'm hoping that it doesn't like chew through anything and damage anything. But I don't think it's not the first time this has happened, because before we had the addition put on, when I would go up into the attic and get our Christmas decorations, sometimes I'd take out a box of decorations and there would be all these acorn shells in there. There was never any poops or anything gross, but there would be like a ton of acorns. And so I knew a squirrel must have been going up there somehow through the eaves or something and staying up there when it was cold in the winter. So maybe because they can't get up there anymore, they're coming downstairs. I don't know, but yeah. And at one point I thought, because it sounded so big, I thought it must have been the cat or the dog running around upstairs, like or probably one of the cats just playing, like batting a hair tie around or something. But no, squirrel. That was a day. That was a fun event, an interesting event. I don't know. Oh, I decided that because it's so rainy and because it's so late in the day, I couldn't be bothered to do my hair, so it's just kind of up. I actually put it up in a bun, and I only had a tiny little clip downstairs. I put it in a bun, and I put a hat on when I go walk the dog because it was rainy and cold. And when I took the hat off, it was just kind of like a messy bun. I'm like, that doesn't look too bad. That's all right. I think that'll be fine. I did do a different clip because I thought it might fall down while I was doing Sat Chat, being all animated. But yeah. Not that you really cared. I actually, so last week I talked about my eyes bothering me, and a lot of you were concerned, like, go to a dermatologist, go figure that out. They were fine the next day. I don't know if I was allergic to something, or I think I might have just scratched my eyes, or scratched my eyelids or something, or maybe rubbed them when I had some oil pastel residue on them, because they've been fine ever since. But I kind of like the no eyeshadow look, and then I saw an article on, I don't know, so you know how you scroll if you're on your phone and you accidentally swipe, what way? I guess you accidentally swipe to your right, it'll bring up a page of like news, like local news stories. I don't know if everybody's phone does that, but mine does that. Or it'll be it'll have some local news stories, it'll have some YouTube videos that things you might want to like. It's basically the big data algorithm internet who stalks you all the time to hand feeding you curated stuff they think you'll like. But anyways, it was a story about how the latest trend in makeup is not to wear eyeshadow. And I was like, well, maybe I will embrace that trend because I kind of like the look of it, having no eyeshadow. And like last weekend when I went to lunch with my friend Kathy and I didn't wear eye makeup, I don't think I wore any eye makeup. And I kind of like the look. I had my glasses on, my dark framed glasses, so that kind of like frames your eyes anyway. And I always do my eyebrows because I am so pale and my eyebrows are so light that they barely show up. But so I was kind of like, I kind of like that look. It's just kind of fresh and clean. And so I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. And also I can be kind of like self-conscious about leaving the house without makeup on. But when I went to France last year to teach courses, I'm like, well, I got to wear some makeup. I got to be professional, but I hear they don't wear that much makeup in Europe. So I decided that I was going to go really light with the makeup. I got like lip cheek stain stuff. It was just this transparent, like really light stuff. I brought my really, really light, it's just basically like a tinted moisturizer, and I wore that, and I think I had mascara, maybe an eyeliner, and that was it. And eyebrow stuff, obviously. And I thought I thought it was fine, honestly. And it was very freeing to just go really light with makeup. Filming is a little hard because the lights you have to have wash you out so much, but I think I want to get back to that. And I love seeing young people with like very little makeup on. They look so fresh and so bright. Yeah, I think I want to embrace that a little bit more. It's easier in the summer when like your skin is all dewy and you've got maybe a little bit of a tan. I do wear sunscreen every day, but you still get a little tan because you're outside, and plus you're a little fitter because you're outside, kayaking, paddleboarding, and just, in general being more active. And that's a good look, because your face will have like a glow from the activity and stuff. So, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, and I've never been like a really heavy makeup people. Like I'll watch a tutorial and it's like, oh my word, you've got so much makeup on. That's gonna look weird in real life. It looks great on camera, but it's gotta look weird in real life. I just have like foundation and like a cream blush on, and it feels like a lot. But I don't know. This is not beauty guru channel, whatever. What else do we have to talk about? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Did you hear? Cheap Joe's is closing. Cheap Joe's! They've been in business for 40 years. I started ordering from them in the late 90s when I worked as an art director at Senior Center, and also I had my own studio downtown. I was doing that part-time while I worked as an art director, and then I crossed over. I kind of weaned off of that job, steady job, with the health insurance, and I went to kind of work for myself, and kind of been working for myself ever since. But that was one of the places I ordered from, and my students would they love things, because I'd have like erasers from Cheap Joe's and water buckets and stuff, so they'd say Cheap Joe's art stuff on it, and the kids loved that name. It was so cute and quirky, and they always remembered it. It was great branding. And I actually got my full set of Polychromos and Alvarado watercolor pencils from them because they had the best price, and they're they're out of business. So they're not out of business yet. They're going out of business. I just wanted to mention this because if you use the Kilimanjaro watercolor paper, that is their house brand. So you might want to order some more before they close. And also the American Journey watercolors and watercolor sticks are theirs. Now Da Vinci makes the watercolors for them. I don't know who does the watercolor sticks for them or if they do them in-house. I can't imagine if they have Da Vinci doing their watercolors that they're doing their sticks in-house. But if you love that product and you want to stock up on the colors you rely on, you might want to do that before they're all gone, because I imagine they're not ordering more in or not, you know, custom, because if they do their own watercolor paper, I don't know who makes the paper for them, but if they're probably not going to order anymore, and if they know they're closing. So if that's something you rely on and love, then go ahead and grab some more, I would say. Other products that they make that I really like, they have a travel watercolor brush called the Cheap Joe's Pseudo Sable, and it's a synthetic brush. It's supposed to mimic a Kolinsky sable brush, and their number 12 round is so awesome. It is sharp as a knife and it carries a ton of water. That's my favorite travel brush. They have a set of 4. I don't find the other ones are fine. I don't find that I use them that much, but I do use that number 12 round, so that would be something I would recommend. I didn't see any like going out of business sales. I didn't see anything on their website that said they were going out of business, but it's all over their social media, and it was reported in a local newspaper from where they are. So it is legit. It is happening. And I just want to let anybody know if they wanted to you know, have one last hurrah there before they close. I don't know how long it's going to take them to close. I don't know if there's going to be any closing sales. I imagine they'd probably try to get as many normal price sales as they could before they start marking things down, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that jump in there and want to stock up on their favorites. But and I do know they do some bespoke colors that you might not be able to get from Da Vinci if like it's one of their instructors that have custom ordered the color or custom blended the color. So that might be something that you would be considering. Or if you are an instructor and you have bespoke colors, I can't imagine you'd be getting that information from me, but that would be something you might want to stock up on before they're gone. But man, that's a sad day, because when I'm recommending art suppliers for people to shop at, I call them the kind of the big 4, and I'm sure there's others too, but these are the ones that I've actually ordered from myself and I can vouch for, and that would be Blick Art Materials, Jerry's Artorama, Cheap Joe's Art Stuff, and The Merry Artist. I've ordered from all 4 of those. Their prices are great. They run good specials. They ship really quick. And yeah, it's really sad to see one of them go. I guess to look on the positive side, maybe that will help other art retailers be more sustainable. Like it'll, you know, it will make each slice of the pie a little bit bigger, maybe. So they can stick around longer. But I mean, that is jarring when you see that and you see Joann Fabrics closing. Now, Joann Fabrics had extenuating circumstances, the whole private equity buyout, that tends to doom companies. But those are 2 big art and craft retailers that are no more, and or will be no more shortly. I haven't been into the Joann since they announced the closings. The prices didn't seem, it seemed like the clearance sales they're having are not as good as the sales and the coupons that they would have every day of the week. So it seems to be, I think, a lot of people going in there that are halfway through a project and they need to get the stuff while they can still get it. And people that have never shopped at Joann's before that think up to 40% off or up to 20% off is a great deal. Well, whatever. I guess they've been packed and they've been selling really well. Their stuff has been selling really well. But it's always sad to see a store close. I guess I'm a little bit sadder when I see a more family-owned company close. Like Cheap Joe's was started by Joe Miller in the pharmacy that he owned. He had like an art supply aisle because he loved to paint and he was a pharmacist. He passed away, I think, 2 years ago, and it's probably hard to keep a family business open. I think about that too, because like my parents are getting older and they have a lumber yard and hardware store, and my sister and her husband work there, and I imagine they'll keep it going after my parents pass away, or let it go to that, like release the reins a bit. But it's sad. It's hard to have a single store operation. Not that Cheap Joe's was a single store. I think they had a couple stores, but one of their stores was wiped out in a flood last year, or was it last year or earlier this year? The Ashland store, I think. One of their stores really got hit by that flood, and that's hard to rebuild. And I'm sure when you're thinking about like the current economic climate and you're seeing, oh my gosh, do we really want to rebuild this? I don't know if they did or not. I don't know. I don't work for them. They have reached out to me to review some of their products in the past, and there were really nice people, really nice to work with. I've never had any interaction with Joe, but I imagine probably some of the people that work for him were relatives. I don't know. They were always nice. Their product quality was always really nice, and it's just sad. It's sad to see an institution like that close, but it's happening. It seems like it's happening a lot. Something else I thought was interesting. I was a couple of years ago. I taught at North American Education Association. I believe that's the name of the trade show, and it's a trade show to educate teachers. And there's like a showroom floor where you will do demos for teachers and teach them how to use the products for different companies. And I worked for Derwent, and we were working with the Derwent Inktense pencils and their push button water brushes and also the line of wash set. And it was really cool because like people get to go. It's almost like they get to go see all these different vendors, these different places they can order from, these different products they can order for their schools. And I saw a photo. I saw a couple of videos and photos posted by Phoenix Art Materials, and they were there at that trade show this year. It's in Kentucky, and I guess it's going on this weekend. But I thought that was really interesting because I've never seen, like, they're a company that private labels for a lot of different companies, and I was really surprised to see them taking a consumer-faced position. And that's something I've seen a lot, and I've seen like Ohuhu markers, who, full disclosure, I do videos for them. They are being sold in Michaels, they're being sold in Mary Artist, they're being sold in Blick. There's a lot of sites carrying them now, so they've kind of bridged the gap from being a kind of internet online retailer, Amazon seller, to being in stores. Same with Arteza. Arteza started as just an Amazon seller. Then it might have had its website at the same time, and then it's finally gotten into stores, and now that's what they focus on. They focus on brick and mortar stores to sell their stuff, and so you've got these incredibly competitively priced products that have been, in a lot of cases, white labeled, or maybe they're the white labeler. They're going directly to the consumer, when before they would be selling to a retailer. They'd be selling to a company to make a store brand or a house brand. They're going directly to the consumer now, and it has a benefit of offering lower prices directly to a consumer, but it does make it hard for any company that's offering private label products to compete with that. So it's really interesting. I don't know if moves like that are going to make it even harder for the other big box stores. It does seem like if you're losing a couple pretty large players in the art and craft space, retail space, that the other spaces would be stronger, unless sales are down everywhere and they're having a bigger bite taken out of them from the likes of Amazon and Temu and other third-party marketplace sellers. But Michaels is a third-party marketplace online. Walmart's a third-party marketplace online. There are sellers that were previously selling on Amazon they were just getting priced out by all the fees, and they're going to Temu to sell because they're using it as a marketplace because it's a lot cheaper to sell there. So you're going to start seeing more reputable brands over there selling too. So it's just, I feel like it's Wild West. It's the part of me that's interested in business is really interested in the way things are shuffling around. The part of me that's an artist who wants the legacy companies to be okay and to be able to thrive is a little concerned. But the part of me that's a teacher that wants everyone to be able to access affordable supplies, good quality affordable supplies, thinks, well, maybe this isn't so bad. I've got a lot of cognitive dissonance here. I've got a lot of conflicting feelings about all of these things. I'm very sad to see Cheap Joe's close because they've just been around. They've been part of my art journey for so long. They've been part of so many's art journey. I used to love it when they'd send those big, they would send out a flyer. There was kind of the way it was put together, it was almost like a newspaper. It was really big, and you'd open it up, and I would do so much shopping from those flyers because that's where they would put the best deals in. And I don't know when they stopped selling when they stopped sending them. I didn't know if they stopped sending them because I primarily ordered online, and so they maybe didn't send them to the people that order unless they were phoning in their orders. I don't know. But I also didn't need to buy so much after teaching. You know, when I had the studio downtown, I had to buy a lot of stuff for the studio. And then, you know, when it's just me, I still had leftovers from the studio. I didn't need so much. But yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people are also in that camp where it's like, oh my gosh, we've collected so much that it's like we really don't need any more, or we have enough and everything else is so expensive, so we're not buying the kind of the non-essentials. So I don't know, it's really interesting, and it's sad. That's sad. I'm very sad to see that. But if there's anything you rely on from Cheap Joe's, order it now, I would say, and maybe there'll be sales in the future, but I don't know. I don't have any of that information. All I have was what I saw on the Cheap Joe's Facebook page today, and on there's an article. I just Googled it because I wanted a confirmation from another site because I was afraid maybe they got hacked. I was kind of like hoping they got hacked, and that wasn't true, but it was true. It's just sad. It's just sad. So. What else is going on? I've got this, one of the things I was working on this week was a review for a die cutting machine that's very similar to the Cricut. I think it's the Cricut Explore 3. I don't know, I don't do Cricut products because I don't know, I don't like their business practices. They burned me like, or they didn't really burn me. They burned companies that I really enjoyed using with my Cricut, and I didn't like they burned other people basically, and I didn't like the way they were running the business, and so I don't buy any Cricut products anymore. But so when I heard about another machine that I could hook up to my computer, I was really excited to give that a try, and I've got it. So I've been working on a review. I've been making a ton of stencils and doing print and cut, and it's a pretty cool machine. So I'm thinking about filling that review next. I'm not going to do a tutorial on it though, because there's lots of tutorials out there, and I'm not the best at doing tech tutorials, so I'll leave that to the people that know what they're doing. Because seriously, if you're going to buy a machine, you want to watch a few reviews. You don't want to take one person's review for it. Especially listen to reviews from people that use die cutters more than I do. I'll use it. I used to design die cut templates actually, but I don't do that anymore. I'll go die cut something really quick for a project, but I don't use them in my tutorials. It's kind of like I'm making a stencil for a gel plate, and I might do a tutorial on the gel plate using that stencil, but you know, it's kind of like a means to an end for me. It's not something, I'm not passionate about die cutting. It's a tool that I like to use so I can do other things that I am passionate about. But I'm gonna do the review nevertheless, because I think that it might be interesting to somebody that would use it like I would, because I know a lot of people buy these cutters because they're doing like t-shirts and mugs and craft fair items, and they're using it more as a business. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting. Anyway, so that's something that you can look forward to, probably a ways out, because I've got a lot of videos that I've scheduled out already, and yeah, I have no concept of time anymore. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what year it is. It's a madhouse. That's all I have for today. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Let me know what you're up to in the comments below. We'll chat there, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye!